What is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video of mine. I'm Ace Josh, and I'll be bringing you my Week 3 GPC match versus none other than, Rufus. One of the, I guess he's like a co-admin in the GPC. Pretty chill guy. Likes to run memes, he likes to suggest a lot of memes. Pretty cool dude in general. Kind of Rufus is like, I don't know if he's like his husband or like just a gay lover, but like, yeah. Let's that's a different subject. Anyways, so yeah, as you can see, my team is here. His team is there. He pretty much brought kind of what I expected. He brought the Furo, which kind of made sense because if he's like banded, Drill Peck will do a lot to Mega Venusaur, and being able to pivot with U-turn and Drill Run for the Metagross, it made sense. And then Volcanion, kind of expected like Bloom Doom, Suicune, just Calm Mind. Maybe Vuikun, but just Calm Mind in some sort of sorts. Maybe Toxic, Calm Mind for Gastro, etc., etc. Mega Aggron, just like Max Bedef, Max HP, careful. Dragonite, expected a Flying Z set. And then Clefable, I actually had no idea. I didn't think it was going to be a Calm Mind Clefable, so I just expected more of a wall, but yeah. My team, I don't have my team on my computer, so I'll just go over it really quick. This is a predominantly into Kieran Black. It has Earth Power, it has Ice Beam, and it does have Fusion Bolt. Yeah, it does have Fusion Bolt. I don't remember if I had what else it had. Oh yeah, it was mono attacking. Yeah, and it was. I think it was also. I think it was Stellium Z Iron Head for Clefable. Yeah, something. I think it was just mono attacking with like predominantly more attack than special attack because I wanted the physical attack for max defense, max HP Suicune, so Fusion Bolt to a KO. Mega Venusaur predominantly physically defensive to take hits from Dragonite if it's not a +1 Flying Z Fly. Manectric Choice Scarf for tricking like Suicune if it tries to set up Calm Minds on me. I can trick it. If it clicks Calm Mind, that'd be most ideal. But I can also trick Clefable and yeah, stuff of that nature. Not to mention, since he didn't bring his ground type being Sand Slash, Volt Switch is a pretty good move versus his team. Togekiss, it's the Stallbreaker Nasty Plot Heal Bell set because it kind of sets up Uncle Fable pretty well because I don't expect Unaware to expect Magic Guard. Metagross is my lead Stealth Rocker. Well, yeah, I do lead with it. Spoilers. With Sugar Berry, take hits from like +1 Dragonite and smack with an Ice Punch. Decent for Mega Aggron as well. And, Meteor Mash absolutely smacks Clefable. It was Bullet Punch for Sneasel. I mean, I didn't bring Bullet Punch for Sneasel, nor did I have Colbur, so I was kind of glad to not see that either. I think Gastrodon is just like, it has a little bit of speed depth to take hits from Volcania, but it's predominantly supposed to be physically defensive. Ice Beam for Dragonite, and Clear Smog for Calm Mind Clefable / Suicune if you wanted to bring it. Not much more to go over. My league game plan is to just get rocks up so I can break multi-scale on Dragonite, Chip, Mega Aggron, hits. Suicune 12%, Volcanion, Furo are weak to it. Clefable obviously most likely will not take rocks, but rocks are just pretty good in general. And I guess he sees the same thing because I do have two Pokemon weak to it. Two Pokemon which do kind of threaten his team, so we are just going to trade rocks, which is pretty fair. Let me put this on normal. So I'm going to predict the Earthquake here now. I'm going to make a couple of plays. Not really, they weren't really too flashy. It was just a scout for a set, really. But I guess you can call them flashy plays. As I do now try to predict the Toxic because either way, this was a pretty safe switching as he does click Toxic. Now, I do have Leech Seed on this set, and I have no reason not to click it, as I do click the Leech Seed, as he just goes for Iron Head. Does get a crit, and according to my calc, that just shows he's very uninvested with his attack. He goes straight into Fear Incarnate as I almost click Sludge Bomb, which, if I got a really good roll, could have actually killed. As he goes straight for Focus Energy here, I kind of thought he was going to click U-Turn because I expected it banded. As this is pretty scary because as you'll see, I'm going to go into my Metagross and a crit Drill Peck is going to do 41% if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it did 44%, which is absolutely insane. For some reason, my calc was not calcing that correctly, so like an Adam Max Attack Life Orb was not, according to my calc, was not supposed to be doing that much, but apparently something was wrong. Probably something with like the crit button because sometimes it does glitch on me, but it's okay. As yeah, nice he just brings the memes and he's just rocking it out. So at this point I gotta predict the Jiro run because this thing needs to die. I don't have a switch in, as at this point I know I could take crit drill packs really well. As you can see, a normal drill pack does 39%. As I just roost up here, and even if he switches, he dies to rocks, and he doesn't really have removal. So I can just roost up on the drill pack. He doesn't crit any of them, but it didn't really matter because after leftovers and leech seed, I would have been near full anyways, if not just full. Since I know he's not heavy slam, and I knew he wasn't going to be heavy slam, since Ironhead did a lot more to my Kieran Black, so I just kind of expected that more than heavy slam. I could have stayed in, gone for some flinches if need be, or I can even try to go for a nasty plot and do some work, because as you can see with the speed tiers, his fastest Pokemon is the Suicune, and there's a good chance I outspeed it unless he's running a very speedy Suicune, but I don't want to stay in here because, Togekiss is a really good win con looking at his team. So I'm going to go into my Venusaur, predicting Toxic for the second time in this game. As I over-predict here, I thought he would switch, which sucks because, as you can see, the damage with the Leech Seed was going to be kind of huge because he would have been at 70%. So keep that in mind as I just go for Leech Seed here, making a really good play, as at this point, I'm just going to go into my my Fish Moly as he clicks the Z move. And I thought he was clicking Bloom Doom here, but it's just Inferno Overdrive. Then I make probably the worst play of the game. I just completely and if you read the chat, we're like, oh, I thought he made a hard read, which I really thought he did. As he clicks HP Grass for just, I completely forgot that. I just completely forgot HP Grass is a thing, and I could have kept the I could have kept it. And, that kind of blew. As I just go for Volt Switch because, like I say, he doesn't have a switch in. Does prove to be Magic Guard Clefable, so that's good for Air Slashing Togekiss with Nasty Plot for the future. I go into my Metagross as I know he's going to go into the anything that does resist the Steel move. And even though he had no item, I pretty much knew he was going to be the Babiri Berry, so I wanted to break it. And I could have scouted for... I could have got Chip on the Aggron if he switched it in, and I could have scouted for the Suicune set. This proves to not be max defense Suicune, so you could be somewhat speed invested. But I don't really get to find out in the game, as you'll see. This is the play that kind of determines the game. So at this point, I'm thinking he's going to click Calm Mind again, because he should know I'm Scarf. And even if... He should know I'm not Specs after that Volt Switch damage on the Clefable. So he should know that T-Bolt will just bounce off him, and he can just keep going for Calm Minds, and then my Manectric wouldn't be able to beat it. So I'm going to go for Switcheroo here, thinking he would click Calm Mind. But unfortunately, and I do mean unfortunately, he is going to go straight for the Skull, which I could have gone for T-Bolt and gotten a really good amount of damage. But unfortunately, this thing is now Scarf, and that could be a little bit tricky later in the late game. But I'm looking at it, and Venusaur plus Togekiss is looking really good. As he goes straight into the Dragonite, I click Leech Seed because I have no reason not to. Could have clicked Sludge Bomb because, it does kind of hit his team pretty decently hard since Aggron can't touch me. But at this point, he wasted his Z move, so I knew Flyinium Z was not coming. I mean, Flyinium Z Fly, of course, was not going to hit me right now. And if you click Fly, I can just go into Metagross, but... not for 2 seconds, and I do literally mean, not even for 1 second, did I consider this could be a special Dragonite. And, as you're gonna see, I just let my Venusaur die to a Hurricane, and this sucks, because Venusaur, looking at his team, look, let me just pause this. He had, Clefable, Suicune, which is now Scarf, a Volcanion, which isn't Specs, so it's not gonna hit me hard, and Aggron. I walled all of those Pokemon, and his Clefable wasn't Calm Mind, as you'll see. And so my Clefable could have just won straight up if I didn't sack it like that. But since I did, it's now going to be a really tricky game. I don't know if this is Scarf Specs because I just don't know. I was in range of a Scarf Hurricane either way, so he does outspeed me if he's max speed, obviously. So he could easily be Specs, could be Scarf. I don't know what he is. And at this point, I see this as a great time to set up a Nasty Plot. And at this point, I should have gone for... I should have just gone out to +6, really. But I choose not to. As I do go for the Air Slash because I just want to get this thing out of my face, as that just proves to be... with the Volt Switch damage did prove to me he was max HP, max Dev, or at least pretty much near it. So I knew Air Slash would do a KO. And at this point, his only answer is to go into the Mega Aggron, obviously. And Air Slash does a really decent amount of damage, and if I get one Air Slash flinch, even if I don't get the Air Slash flinch on the next one, I live a Iron Head, and then I can kill him with the next air slash. So realistically, I just need one flinch. As I go for the first one and I miss, so that's always fun. So and he hits me up with the Iron Head and does 69%. So okay, so obviously I'm gonna go up to about 31%. Let's let that play. And here, so I'm gonna hit him up with the air slash. As you can see, it does 26%. So let's say I were to get this flinch, I'd go up to 37. Then I get the next flinch, I go up to 45. Then I get the next flinch, and I go up to 51. And that would put me in range to where he would have to try to click Hurricane with his Dragonite to kill me, because I don't. Actually, no, Ice. He did have Ice Beam, so you could click that, but Ice Beam, is it really? It'd be kind of a iffy situation, because I can pivot around with Kyurem Black and Metagross if need be. But this just basically gets these last two turns just basically throw it out the window. So the freaking Pokemon that's supposed to get flinches doesn't get flinches. Second time this season. First time it was against freaking Trev, and now I couldn't get any flinches against Rufus. Just sad times, very very sad times. As I just got to stack my Metagross. He gets a crit Scald, so I don't get to. This is still potentially in range of Fusion Bolt, especially since I know he's not Max Fizz Def. He still should die. As long as I don't get burned by the Scald, I do have a chance. And according to that Fusion Bolt damage, I easily killed. But as you can see, I get freaking burned. As that's now I get put in range to where I just die to any neutral move that's 100% accurate from Scarf D-Knight, because as you'll see, he is 100% Scarf. Because I was looking at it, so I was like, I think I still want to cure him. But the thing was, Aggron was not. It was in range of an Earth Power, and I did find out he was max HP, max Def. But the unfortunate part was that it was a roll in his favor, and looking at the way the game was going, I wasn't going to get it. But if this wasn't Scarf, I could have actually brought this back. But as you can see, he doesn't have to click Hurricane, doesn't have to click Draco. He just clicked the really safe Ice Beam. Since I am burned, which kind of sucked, but I wouldn't have dodged a Draco Meteor anyways. So unfortunately, we are going to lose 2-0. And I'm not going to lie, this is the game that, out of all the Gen 7 games I've had in my entire life, this is the one. And by my entire life, it's what? I've been playing Gen 7 League since Sun and Moon came out after November. It's already freaking August, so it's only been a brief amount of, let's say, 9 months. And this was the game that haunted me the most in my sleep, because there's a lot of plays that looking back at it, I should have expected it, especially since it's Rufus. He likes to bring spicy sets, but I wasn't looking at it that way. And as a result, I sacked my win con, defensively being Venusaur. And then I didn't go up to +6 with my Togekiss, and if I would have done that, I would have probably just won outright, because he would have to go into his D-Knight, then weaken me, then and I would obviously just obliterate it, bar a hit, and then he would have to go into Suicune and then Scald me. And at that point, I would still have Kyurem Black, which as long as I didn't get burned like I did there, I would be okay. I could have had Gastrodon. If I had Gastrodon in the back of Trick, then Suicune would actually just be hard walled and it wouldn't be able to do anything. That was something that also came across my mind. So yeah, it just sucked a lot of balls. I'm not. What I was gonna say, it sucked, but really well played to Rufus, and this was actually his first win. And it sucks to be the guy who yields to be the first win, because it just kind of adds a little more salt to the wound. But he's a good guy, so it's something I really don't mind. So we do fall to 1 and 2, which is unfortunate. We do play Baby Eric week 4, which is going to be a challenge to the very least, because he's excellent, very excellent battler. I watch his videos, and every time I watch it, I'm pretty dazzled by just his thought process and his EVs and everything. It's very well thought out, and it's kind of the player. He's the player I strive to be in the counter team format. Anyways, that's enough sugarcoating for a video. So yeah, GG to Rufus. We're gonna try to bounce back, as we are now 1 and 2, and with a -2 differential, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, sucks to suck, but whatever. We'll get it done. So yeah, that's all for me, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. So au revoir and peace.